Life, life. Are you an optimist or a pessimist in life? It's a question we're asked every now and then, and I think it's a stupid question since obviously the best answer to that question, I think, for most of us is we're both, right? We're both optimistic and pessimistic at different times, or more syncretistically, or you can have a synthesis of those two, possibly, of being a cautious optimist or an incautious pessimist, possibly, or a cautious pessimist. I don't know which one, but is it best to be an optimist or a pessimist? I think it's best to be an optimist, actually. I think it's best to see that it's possible for the future to get better. I think it's best to have a sunny disposition if you can, and to not just think that we're on an inevitable decline towards destruction and chaos. And I think, yeah, optimism is a bright and lovely thing to have in the world. It provides a nice and lovely little candle for one to follow in one's life if you possibly can. And yeah, I've always been an optimist in life. I don't know why, really. My life has always gotten worse. Well, it hasn't always gotten worse. That's the thing. I mean, it goes through stages of being bad, and it goes through stages of being good and tolerable and stable, and where I feel like I'm making progress and feel like I'm doing better in life, and then it goes and takes a nosedive, and it becomes impossible to bear, and just the mental health thinking and the overthinking becomes too much, and the rumination becomes too much, and then I spiral into some more chaotic pattern in life, and I don't know really what I need to do about that. I'll probably just stick on the medication that I'm being given. I think that's what I'm going to do in the future now. Just stay on meds and not really let my mind run rampant, so to speak. But yeah, optimism, I think, in life, as long as it's cautious optimism, is a very healthy thing to have. I think if you allow pessimism to take over, I think, oh, we're just going to die anyway, and the world's going to go to shit, and everything's going to become gloomier and worse and more chaotic, and there'll be more disruption than ever before, and this, that, and the other. I think you end up creating a self-fulfilling prophecy that way, and I think you end up leading yourself down bad paths that way, and I think the best things out of my life have always come when I'm being happy, when I manage to find levels of sustainable happiness. And I am quite happy quite often, or I do manage to stay happy quite often, even though I'm very, very stressed a lot of the time. I manage to sort of mitigate the stress quite a lot of the time and keep on a relatively even keel of happiness, and just, enjoying the little things in life, like the songs of birds and the trees and nature and beautiful days when it is beautiful outside, and not letting circumstances get to me too much. Sticking with creative pursuits like painting and writing poetry. I gain incredible joy out of those things, or I gain a sense of fulfillment out of those things. And I think it's very important to have things like that in life that you're moving towards. And I am. I think there's reasons to be cheerful in the world. There's loads of really great reasons to be happy. If you've got a good, stable family relationship, that's a great thing to enjoy. If you've got friends who you love, that's wonderful. If you've got artistic, creative pursuits that you love, those are wonderful things to have. And I think optimism focuses on, to an extent, on goal orientation, and this is an unhealthy aspect of it also. It focuses on what we want to achieve with our futures, and it's all about the future, the future, the future. Whereas happiness can only really be had in the moment, and we can only really be happy in the here and now. And I think very often it's appreciating the here and now that too many of us get distracted from by thinking about our lives, thinking about our past, our futures, where we've been, where we want to end up, how we're going to get there, and strategizing and making plans and all this sort of thing. I think we can lose a lot of ourselves to that sort of thinking, and not really be in the moment so much and not be actively living life. We just sit around kind of living a half life of just planning, or alternatively just waiting for it all to be over, which I've been guilty of sometimes, just lying in bed not knowing what to do, not doing anything, and just sort of procrastinating randomly. And I think we fall into those sorts of traps as well, and we should try and keep ourselves busy and actively live life to the fullest, so to speak. Use every moment of every day if we can, and try and make the most of things. Yeah, I mean, some realizations come to me when I'm just sort of walking around town or whatever, just now, like in the recent past, just like how wonderful it is to be free, how wonderful it is, because I've been, in situations where I've not been free, right? Been in psychiatric hospitals, locked up, basically. And it's just so enjoyable to have degrees of freedom and to be out in the world doing stuff. It's lovely. Enjoying the laughter of other people in coffee shops and sitting around writing poetry outside. It's, an amazing thing, wonderful. Yeah, appreciating small things, I think, is a great way to happiness. And being optimistic is important. To know that the future can get better and to work actively in the moment to try and secure a better future for ourselves. I think it's, a very important thing to have. And pessimism and negativity and lacking those things goes in the opposite direction. We think, oh, fuck it, I'll just get drunk or whatever, and because, it doesn't matter and my future's just going to shit anyway, so I'll just fall into a negative spiral of drinking and depression and lose myself in that, and then get sectioned again, obviously, at some point for some reason. And that sort of thing can happen as well. So we don't want that, do we? We want to be happy, good world. And so do you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching this video. I love you lots. Bye bye. See you soon.